Hello, everyone. This is Virginia Pierce Kelly, and this is the African American Black History Education Enlightenment Program. And this is part 4, and we are on this journey together as we are learning more and more and more about the different individuals and groups of people from all nations, all countries around the world who contribute to the forming and the shaping of this country, United States of America. These people have different multicultural backgrounds, have different ethnicities, and we are just appreciating who they are. And so we're going to learn more about them as we are reading from different Black history, African American history resources that I purchased many decades ago. Many decades ago. And now I'm using it because this is February 2023, and this is the official African American Black History Month. And I call it African American Black History Education and Enlightenment Program because many of the Black history that we may or may not know is really from different other countries like Africa, Caribbean countries, and other countries that we may not know. I'm learning just like you. I'm sharing what I'm learning from the different sources that I'm sharing in this particular segment. So we're going to start out as we always do. We are using this book, and I'm going to share it with you. Again, it's the African American Answer Book History, and I bought this book at the Atlanta History Center many decades ago. And so I hope and pray that you, and as along with me as well, learn something new. So we're going to go to the answers to last night. Well, really the night before. It was Friday night. Saturday, I took the day off. It's a day of rest for me. So we all need a day of rest. And so then I've been helping my husband. He had a health issue, but he's getting better. So we are going to answer the questions from Friday night that I spoke out. So Friday, it was questions from the book I just showed you, questions 26 to 38. So I'm going to read this question, then I'm going to read the answer because each question has 3 choices, and person makes one choice out of the answers of the choices that I read out Friday night. And so I'm going to read the question, and some of these questions may or may not be true or false. So question 26. James Farmer was executive director of the what? And the answer is, let me go to the answer part in the back of the book, Congress of Racial Equality. Question 27. In 1977, who became the first African American U.S. ambassador to United Nations? Answer is Andrew Young. Question 28. Who was the first African American to be chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest leadership position in the military next to the president? Answer, Colin Powell. Question 29. What successful Black businessman worked to establish independent colonies in Africa for freed slaves? Answer, Paul Cuff. Question 30. Who sued a Tennessee railroad for not allowing her to sit in the whites only first class car when she had paid for a first class ticket? Answer, Ida B. Wells Barnett. Question 31. Booker T. Washington was opposed to the founding of what organization? Answer, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Question 32. Who was the first African American Supreme Court Justice? Answer, Thurgood Marshall. Let's go to the next page. Question 33. In 1964, Carl T. Rowan was named Director of the United States, and the answer is Information Agency. Question 34. Who founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity? Answer, Malcolm X. 35. In 1946, a 50-cent coin was issued that was the first coin to honor an African American and the first one designed by an African American. Who did it commemorate? The answer to question 35, Booker T. Washington. Question 36. What renowned scholar, an expert on African American history, and a patron of African American arts was the first Black chosen as a Rhodes Scholar? Answer, Alan Locke. And we got two more. Number 37, who became the first African American female lawyer in 1872? And that is going to be Charlotte E. Ray. And number 37. We read now 38. This is the last one for this particular segment. So every night except on Saturday, we read 12 questions or true and false statements out of this book that I showed you earlier, this book here. So number 38 is the last one for tonight that I'm going to read that answers to questions previously that I asked on Friday. Approximately how many African Americans fought for the North in the Civil War? And the answer to that is 189,000 soldiers. So we are now going to ask 12 more questions from the book, African American Answer Book. So I'm going to pick up in question 39. And it's going to be from questions 39 to 51. Question 39. Approximately how many African Americans died in the Civil War? And I'm going to give you 3 different answers, and you choose the best one that you think is correct. A, 5,000. B, 70,000. C, 150,000. Number 40 question. Martin Delany, the first major in the U.S. Army, served in what war? A, Civil War. B, Spanish-American War. C, World War II. Question 41. This is just true or false statement. You let me know, or you can guess, and the answer will come tomorrow on Monday when we do this question answer of Black history, African American history. True or false? Number 41. The Mary Church Terrell House in Washington, D.C. was the residence of the first president of the NAACP. Now you just let us know if that's true or false. Question 42. What did Carter G. Woodson start in 1926? A, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. B, Spingarn Awards. Or C, Negro History Week. Question 43. Approximately how many African American men and women served their country during World War II? A, less than 500,000. B, 1 million. C, 3 million. Another true or false statement is number 44. By 1920, Harlem had become the unofficial capital of Black America, in which 200,000 African Americans live within an area of 2 square miles. Question 45. What African American educator also served as an advisor to the 5 U.S. presidents? A, Mary McLeod Bethune. B, Charlotte Fortin Grimke, or C. Allen Locke? Question 46. During Reconstruction, which is from 1867 to 1877, Congress Thaddeus Stevens offered what strategy for dealing with freed slaves? A. Give each 40 acres and a mule. B. Send them back to Africa. Or C. Send them to settle the West. Question 47. Who was the first African American soldier to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor for his outstanding bravery? A. Crispus Attucks. B. William H. Carney. C. Benjamin O. Davis Sr. Question 48. Who was the first African American to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? A. James Baldwin. B. Toni Morrison. C. Alice Walker. Question 49 is a true or false statement. Constructed in 1857, Tuskegee Institute originated in the oldest campus building built by slave labor. Question 50 is also a true or false statement. Blanche K. Bruce was the first African American senator to serve a full term. And lastly, for tonight, for this segment of the African American answer book in the history section, Alexander Cromwell was a 19th century A. writer, B. civil rights leader, C. religious leader. So we will provide those answers, Yahweh is willing, tomorrow evening. So now we're going to talk about from another source that celebrates and really help us to know about different Black history is called the Brain Quest Black History. About this too at the Atlanta History Center many, many decades ago. And so we're going to read just a few out of here. We try to keep these programs around 20 minutes or less because I know everyone is busy. So we're going to just go to a few here. You just pick out, just going to go to a card here and pick out and start reading it. Here it says, let me go to the card here. Who first taught the principle that Black is beautiful? Question, that's the question. Now the answer to that question is Malcolm X, who believed that self-reliance is the means to success. Another question is, was Alfred O. Koffer the first Black scientist to earn a PhD in biology, geology, or anthropology? The answer is biology at Illinois Wesleyan University in 1889. Were the pyramids at Giza originally built as tombs or temples? Answer, tombs. Built for the ancient Egyptian pharaohs, they are the oldest monumental construction on Earth. What author retells an Ashti or Ashtai legend in her book, Talk Talk, or Ashanti? Excuse me, let me read that again. What author retells an Ashanti legend in her book, Talk Talk? Deborah Newton Chocolate, that's her name, Deborah Newton Chocolate, whose advice to children who want to be writers is to keep on reading. Now, this is a true or false statement. The 1739 slave revolt in South Carolina led to a new law that made it illegal for whites to let slaves off their property. Is this true or false? It's false. A illiterate slave named Cato had led the revolt, so as a law was passed making it illegal for whites to teach slaves to read. In 2000, what basketball legend became a vice president of the Washington Wizards franchise? Michael Jordan is the answer. I'm just going to go to some more cards from the Brain Quest Black History. And I'm just going to just randomly pick out something. Here it says in 19, excuse me, let me go to the question part here. Thank you for your patience. All right, so in 1990, who became the first Black woman mayor of Washington, D.C., Loretta Glickman or Sharon Pratt Kelly? The answer is Sharon Pratt Kelly. Loretta Glickman was elected the first Black woman mayor of Pasadena, California in 1982. Did Dr. Alexander T. Augusta serve as surgeon to the U.S. colored troops in the Civil War or the Spanish-American War? The answer is the Civil War. In 1865, he became the first Black doctor to head a hospital in the U.S. at Freeman's Hospital in Washington, D.C. Question: does the Aswan Dam cross the Nile River in Uganda, Sudan, or Egypt? The answer is Egypt. The dam stores water for irrigation and helps to control flooding of the river. Was Edmonia Lewis one of the first African American women to win fame as a sculptor or a biographer? The answer is a sculptor. Among her best known works is a plaster portrait of the 19th century Black abolitionist Charles Sumner. Now let's go to some more. Just briefly, I'm just going to go some just very briefly here. In 1787, did Richard Allen and Absalom Jones found the Free African Society or the American Colonization Society? The answer is the Free African Society. Organized in Philadelphia, the group gained a national reputation for promoting Black pride. What important botanist came to be known as, quote, the Peanut Man, close quote? Answer: George Washington Carver, who found 300 products that could be made from peanuts, including Prentice ink and a milk substitute. So we're going to go to another source that has African American history, and we are going to play some more emotional wellness music in the background. On the outset, beginning of this particular program, I was playing some music that I created, and it's emotional wellness music. So here's another one I like to share with you, and I'm looking for it on my phone. Uh, okay, here it is. So while that is going in the background, we're going to talk about this African American history cards that I bought at the Atlanta History Center decades ago. I mean, decades ago. And I think it's important that we appreciate people who contribute to the wonderful things that we are using today in this country, products and goods and services, even scientists and inventors who contribute to the things that we're using today. So I'm going to show you a picture and then I'll read you the bio of the person. Do you know who this is? Look closely. This person is Benjamin Banneker. He was born in 1731 and he lived to 1806. He's an astronomer, mathematician, and a surveyor. Benjamin Banneker spent his entire life on his father's farm in Baltimore County, Maryland. Lacking extensive formal education, Banneker taught himself literature, astronomy, history, and mathematics. He compiled his first Ephemerides in 1791, if I pronounce that word right, Ephemerides, which gave positions of the sun, moon, and planets for each day of the year, solar and lunar eclipses, tide tables, and the like. This information was the basis of his almanac, a work that was widely published. Banneker also constructed a wooden clock that kept time accurately, and he was the first to record the arrival of the quote 17-year locust, close quote, on periodic citadels, a phenomenon he observed 3 times in his lifetime. In 1791, Banneker was recruited to assist in the survey of federal land for a new national capital city, Washington, D.C., although his name appears on none of the contemporary documents relating to its planning and surveying. Banneker played an important role in the layout and design of the city. So let's go to someone else from this wonderful African American history knowledge card. So I'm gonna hold up the picture again, like I did previously. Who is this person? This person's name is Asa Philip Randolph. He lived from 1889 to 1979. He was a union leader and a civil rights activist. Asa Philip Randolph was born in Crescent City, Florida. During his college years, at the College of the City of New York, he became interested in workers' rights and organized his first union, a small group of elevator operators. In 1925, Randolph's attention was drawn to the treatment of Blacks who worked as porters on the railroad coaches. He organized these men into what is now known as the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. The first union consisted of predominantly Black workers, which was granted a charter by the American Federation of Labor. In 1957, Randolph was elected vice president of the union, by then known as the AFL-CIO. In 1960, Randolph founded the Negro American Labor Council, and he served it as its president until 1966. Later, he founded and served as president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute in New York City, which continues to promote civil rights and voter registration. Okay, so because our time is gone on this particular program today, we will follow through on this Yahweh Elohim tomorrow, Heavenly Father's will tomorrow. We will continue to talk about and share different people from different backgrounds who have contributed to United States of America and other things that's going on in this world. And I hope that you have enjoyed the music in the background. And so we're just going to end right now and just want to say thank you so much for joining us and hope to see you next time. And I apologize for doing this so early. I usually do this every night except for Saturday at 6:30 p.m. But because my husband had a health issue a few days ago, I'm taking care of him as his caregiver, and I appreciate your patience with me. So just go ahead and subscribe to the Beyond 50 Wellness YouTube channel, and you get the uploads when I do them, if I have to do them periodically, different times of the day or evening. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.